Oh, shit. Okay, Brandon, wish us love.
Well, that was a big one.
Did you hear it?
Yep.
Okay. Holy crap. Did you hear that?
I think it was a curb.
I think
I just went over a curb.
I think you ran over a curb.
Welcome back, EdelKampers. I'm Fred.
And I'm Mary. We explore, experience, and educate.
Because it's never too late to believe in yourself.
Ain't that the truth?
Welcome to Lake Minden RV Camping Resort in Nicholas, California. We are standing in front of the office where you pull into one of these parking areas, go into the registration office, and pick up your packet. They also have a limited camp store inside. You would choose your site and then let them know where you will be parking. We enjoyed eating at Sammy's that is located beside the office. They have a lakeside seating area right off the dock where you can watch the ducks on the water as you eat. They serve Mexican food, breakfast, burgers, shakes, and more. The lake is beautiful. There is a nice floating dock, but we only saw one boat. There are bathhouses throughout the park. This is Section A bathhouse, which is where you will find the tiny laundry room. They have 4 washers and 4 dryers that are coin operated only. Check out the phone booth. Coming from the East Coast, this is a novelty for us.
Yeah, Max here. Uh-huh. Okay, Chief. Yeah, I got it. Right. I'm on it. Bye. Who needs a phone? Who needs a shoe?
There are horseshoes here, along with a volleyball court. The miniature golf course looks like it's in very nice shape and is beautifully situated between white painted lattices. You can check out equipment from the office. There are cabins throughout the park. You'll find the playground by the cabins that are by the sandy beach. We enjoyed watching the birds fly and the ducks sitting on the sand. The lake is said to be stocked with catfish and bass, so if you like to fish, bring your pole. We chose to park in Section A, that is for mostly smaller rigs. Section A is where they have full hookups, and we had been a very long time without full hookups. So when we found an empty spot, we took it. As you can see, they are pretty tight spots, and you have to park interweaved. They give you a map that shows you exactly how you can park in that area. The drive around the lake leads you to the other sections of the park. The loop around the lake makes a great 1-mile walking track and takes you by beautiful orchards and grapevines, as well as a cute little barn. As you walk around the loop, you will come to a circular area that makes up the tent and small rig camping. This area has its own bathhouse as well, and another payphone. The Sacramento airplane modelers were camping, and we enjoyed watching them fly their planes over the lake. As you continue around the lake, you will find Section D. This is where there is more spacious room for big rigs, but they only have water and electric hookups. But don't fear, there is a dump station there. You will also find the dog park here, which was pretty nice. They had a large bright pavilion for outdoor activities here as well. You must continue around the lake as it is a one-way and the only way out of the park. The sunsets across the lake were breathtaking.
Thanks. Oh, good. Okay,
Wow, Fred, that was a big curb that we drove over. All looked well until we started to set up. Remember, looks can be deceiving. Our first discovery was when Fred was hooking up our water. The gray water connector had become loose and was leaking water in the wet bay. Well, that was an easy fix. As Fred was fixing the leak, I went in to get something from the rear closet. This is what I found. That was a wild bend. I don't think even Fred can straighten this one out.
Yes.
I fixed it.
No. We need to go to Lowe's. You never know when something's going to go on.
You just take a string and we tie it from one side to the other. It'll be fine.
No. I think put in the comments below if you think that we need to get rid of some of these clothes.
Get rid of all my clothes. I don't need clothes.
So that is tonight's project. Fix the closet. After you just fix the water.
Repair number 2 was not that difficult. A trip to Lowe's, and with the help of handy dandy Fred, a new and improved closet rod was soon installed. Okay, that wasn't so bad either. But we kind of believe in the rules of 3. What next? Old Sacramento State Historic Park is located in downtown Sacramento. approximately 22 miles away from Lake Minden, California, Thousand Trails, making for a great day trip. As you come into Sacramento, you will see the Tower Bridge, a vertical lift bridge across the river linking West Sacramento to the city of Sacramento. You will see paid parking throughout the rustic old western town of Old Sacramento. In 1939, John Sutter arrived on the shore of Sacramento River and established Sutter's Fort. However, it was the gold rush of 1848 that created the city of Sacramento. The town is so much fun, as there is so much to do and see here, from museums, riverboat rides, historical railroad excursions, horse carriage, to shopping. Today, Fred and I are going to explore the old buildings and share a bit of their history with you guys.
Right here by this historic sign. The sign's really old, maybe 2 years old, but anyway.
Today we're going to show you a little bit of Old Town Sacramento.
Historic.
Historic Old Town Sacramento.
As a former school teacher, I found the replica schoolhouse museum to be my favorite structure. The first public school in Sacramento City opened in February 20th, 1854. It was a one-room schoolhouse heated with a pot-bellied stove and was filled with furnishings and student desks from the era. Back in the old days, terms were short. They lasted only a few months to allow children to also help their parents on the farm. All students were taught by one teacher, and the students ranged from 1st to 8th grade.
I'm ready for school, Ms. Langley. What are you going to teach us today? Can you draw something on this handy-dandy blackboard?
No, but you can write your name 100 times.
It's a real blackboard. It's not one of them green ones. It's blackboard.
The California Steam Navigation Company was formed in 1854 to consolidate competing steam team companies here in Sacramento. However, it could not control the rise of the railroads. By 1862, the U.S. Congress built a railroad eastward from Sacramento, California, expanding it so merchants were able to market a greater volume and range of goods over a larger area. By 1864, the Central Pacific built the first freight depot on this very site. At first, the items that crossed the platform were supplies and materials for the crew who were building the Transcontinental Railroad eastward. Eventually, wholesalers began shipping groceries and manufactured goods to isolated towns along the line. Today, you can take a 50-minute round-trip ride along the scenic Sacramento River and experience the railway firsthand. Check out the Delta King Hotel. The story of this vessel goes back over 100 years to 1927 and was an important part of Northern California. This is just a great place if you are a history lover. In 1853, What Cheer House was built. It catered to men only, did not permit liquor, and people greeted each other by saying, "What cheer, partner?" Who wouldn't want to stay here? Booth & Company was a grocery store. They signaled ships from the roof in order for the store to purchase cargo, allowing them a jump on their competitors. On the northwest corner of the Front and J Streets, you will discover the Teamuck Building. Buildings on this block were prime real estate in Gold Rush, California because of their location close to the docks, and this allowed landlords to charge higher rates. The Eagle Theater. It's a reconstruction of the first building erected in California as a theater, providing the Gold Rush people with live entertainment. Pioneer Park. It is a cool place where you can simply walk down the stairs by some remnant columns and relax by old slab stones. Let's check out the Pony Express Monument near the Pony Express Terminal, which was the last Western stop. The Pony Express was the thread that tied the east to the west. It was only in operation for 18 months. The Pony Express riders could cover 1,800 miles in 10 days from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California. If you have been here before, please tell us what you enjoyed doing the best. We really love interacting and getting to know you in the comments.
Either I'm really light or it's broke.
I start washing clothes and Fred is like, "Mary, do you hear the water leaking?" I'm like, "It always sounds like that to me." He's like, "No, I don't think so." "Where is it coming from?" When we go out to investigate, there was water pouring out of the back of the washing machine and under the big rig. "Where is it coming from?" Nothing coming from the front of the washer. Fred pulled the bottom off of the washer-dryer cabinet, where there was water coming down the back wall. Then we found an access door in the closet. If we had only found that when we were installing the washer and dryer, it would have been a whole lot easier. However, we would not have found the access door at all if the clothes rack had not broken. The washer hose had popped out of the drain tube and water was running down the back of the wall and outside the rig. So Fred again came to the rescue and secured the hose so it will not pop out again. Beware, curbs can cause serious damage in your rig.
All right, it's time for the Lake Minden Cellular Service Report. Well, we're doing a new format once again. 31 down for AT&T. Looks like they're our winner. 0.68 for Verizon. Not doing too good at all. And 2.42 for T-Mobile. Really not doing much better. So definitely want to go with the AT&T here at Lake Minden. All right, thanks. We'll see you soon.